Everyone, welcome to Locally Louisiana, coming your way inside the Year of You studio. I'm Kaniqua, and we've got a lot to talk about, so let's dive in. Coming up on the show, we'll hang out with the Hangout NOLA. It's a great place for New Orleans teens to get together, play games, and, well, hang out. An old basketball court gets a brand new facelift, courtesy of a Baton Rouge basketball legend. And then we've got a preview of the hard-hitting high school football that's set to come your way this season on YearView. Our own Jeff Palermo will join the show to talk about GameTime's upcoming high school schedule. But first, we're looking ahead to the second half of August. Y'all know what it is. It's almost September and it's almost fall. Okay, focus. Let's dive into that. The first date on our calendar, August 30th. If you're a big fan of boy bands, and I know you are because I am, head to LaBerge in Baton Rouge. Picture it, NSYNC's Joey Fatone and the Backstreet Boys' AJ McLean, a 7-piece band and their greatest hits. Witness the epic collaboration as low as $45. There's a QR code on your screen if you need more information. And of course, the New Orleans Labor Day weekend wouldn't be complete without the largest LGBTQ event of the year. It's the 52nd annual Southern Decadence Street Festival and Party. This is a NOLA tradition happening every Labor Day weekend since 1972. Drag shows, community events, pool parties, plus a parade. With hundreds of options, the only problem is finding an event that's right for you. Check out southerndecadence.com for all of the details. And we've got the QR code down there in the corner for you to use as well. The Hangout NOLA is a remarkable facility committed to providing a safe and welcoming space for teens in the community. The vision and tireless efforts have created an environment that not only fosters personal growth, but also ensures that teens have a place where they can feel secure and supported. The man responsible for this incredible facility is here with us today. Welcome, Renard Bender. Renard, welcome to Locally Louisiana.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh man, we are so excited to have you here today, and I really am excited to talk about Hangout NOLA. So tell me a little bit more about yourself and a little bit about your background.
Okay, so I'm locally raised in New Orleans, grew up in the lower Ninth Ward, only child, so you can imagine the imagination that I have, right? But I've been really involved in the community for as long as I can remember. I went to high school here. I went to college here in New Orleans. Can I share that we went to high school together?
Yes, you can.
So of course we are proud alumni of D. McDonald 35 Senior High School, and so all of that has really cultivated me to be the man that I am, a man of faith, having my mother involved in my life and family in my village, and it planted a seed in me very early on to want to give back as much as I could, and I've always just felt the need to mentor. So getting the Hangout just made a lot of sense for my wife and I, because we wanted to make sure that we were planting seeds into young people, some who have the opportunity and many who don't.
Yeah.
So that was really like the thriving force for us to want to open the space.
And that's amazing and so intriguing to me about the Hangout NOLA and the fact that it is geared for those teens, because when we were growing up, there were not spaces like this where we can go to, so a lot of us ended up going places we probably should not go, right? So where did the idea for Hangout NOLA come from? And I believe you also have a nonprofit.
I do. So the Hangout NOLA, we founded it in 2022, is when we opened our doors. It came from a conversation my wife and I were having. We were just trying to, figure out what the best way would be for us to invest in our young people, because oftentimes, we tend to sit on the sideline and we make complaints, often legitimate complaints
True.
about how things are and how we want things to be different, but it takes a little bit more to push forward and say, okay, I'm going to be a part of that change. I'm going to be a part of what I want to see. And especially when it comes to business, because there's risk involved, especially when thinking about our young people and what they may be into and what would interest them. But we just kind of pushed that to the side. We prayed about it, and it was revealed to us that it's something that we needed to do. So we just went ahead and we put our money where our mouth was, totally invested in our community on our own, and the
Stepped out on faith.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
and the Hangout
I
was born
love
from
that. So tell me a little bit more about that nonprofit.
So the nonprofit is called Baton Studios of Louisiana. I have a background in videography and photography.
Wow.
So I've taught that. I do it professionally, but I've taught it to young people, again, wanting to mentor and give back to our young people. And so I started in 2016, and we just started teaching kids about the art of filmmaking. I actually started doing filmmaking in theater because I've written a few stage plays as well, but I kind of veered more into the filmmaking and photography side specifically. And so I've had the opportunity to bless a lot of kids with that, as well as being able to teach at UNO's Upward Bound program. I had the pleasure of doing that a few years.
That's amazing.
And so it's just been great, but I decided once we had the Hangout, we would step it up a little more, and we started involving other professionals aside from just the photography side. So we've taught culinary, we've taught electrician 101, finance. We even had a nail tech class this year. We had a DJ 101 class last year. It's a bunch of things that we're doing just to try to keep the interest of the young people, but provide them not only with opportunities of things that they can do now and later in life, but understanding how to utilize the funding that they can receive, how to manage their money, and just trying to keep them focused.
Man, that's incredible. And the fact that you do a lot of different things, like teaching them nails and, and like television and film and different things of that nature, it's incredible. Now, you're very passionate about having that safe space for teens to kind of thrive in and have fun and not necessarily worry about the troubles of the world, right? So for parents like me, what are you guys doing to make sure that this place stays safe?
So what we have security at our space on a regular basis. So every time we open the doors to our space, we have a guard that we have, and he's a part of the family. Like, he's been with us since like maybe the first month of us opening, and he's been with us since. So when you come in, like, we create an entire family dynamic at our space. My wife and I are there every time, if not most of the times. We have a staff, a small staff, but a staff that we actually put a lot of thought into. One of our managers actually taught all of my kids kindergarten, and she's also a graduate of McDonald 35.
Oh, well.
And then, another young man who manages the space has been with us since the first day we opened. So we just make it very safe in that sense, that we have people that care about you. There are a lot of places I like to take my kids to go and play games and stuff, but no place feels like the Hangout.
Right.
Like, you feel the warmth, you feel the love when you walk in the space, and it starts with my guard. Like, when he opens the door for you, he welcomes people in. He knows as much as my managers do, even though that's not his position. So we just set the tone in that sense. So that's something we do every time. And the space is actually not only utilized for kids 10 through 17 as a regular space for them to come to on Fridays when we have events, but we also utilize the space for parties and events outside of that that people can book. And it's not just kids, adults can rent the space as well.
Nice.
And I'll tell you about that as well, as far as events that we've had for adults. But it's just a great environment, very warm, very inviting and colorful, and we just have a lot of fun in there.
I love it. So what kind of activities or games or things like that can parents and kids expect? Now, and then another topper question with that, are parents allowed to kind of hang out and maybe be with their kids, or is it something where you encourage the parents to let them kind of have their own independence?
Right, that is a great question. So we have the space designed to where we have what we call the private room that's utilized for events and regular and parties. So parents are allowed to hang in there. We have a TV in there. We have Wi-Fi. So if they wanted to just kind of sit back and kind of give them a level of space while also being able to watch them, they can. I can tell you we've never had a parent stay longer than 15 minutes. And it's not because we usher them out, it's because they're like, oh, okay, I'm good.
That says a lot.
Yeah,
that
and
says
most
a lot.
people that come to the Hangout, I would say 95% of the people that come to the Hangout, they drop their kids off and they leave. Like, we've developed that level of trust with the community, starting with the school that our kids attend, and just developing from there. Like, we've just developed that reputation, I think, in the community where they feel like it's a safe environment for them to be in.
How can everyone get in touch with you if they're looking to come out to Hangout NOLA or have their kids come?
We have our website, so it's simply thehangoutnola.com. So they can find out information about when we have events coming up. They can see prices for events if they want to have a party for their kids or for themselves. They can see that on the website as well. We also have our Instagram, which is at the Hangout NOLA.
Okay.
The same with our nonprofit is at BTS of Louisiana. Just ways they can contact us that way. And then our number to contact us is 504-420-7757. So they can always text or call us that way to get in contact.
And that number one more time is?
It's 504-420-7757.
All right. This is one of my favorite events of the entire year, and it's a month-and-a-half-long tradition of celebrating New Orleans' best restaurants. Culinary New Orleans kicks off August 1st, giving us all the chance to try out Crescent City restaurants that we might not eat at otherwise. I love to try something new. These are fixed price menus from over 100 restaurants. And to celebrate Culinary's 20th anniversary, New Orleans & Company will match donations made by diners to the Second Harvest Food Bank. It's a win-win. If I say the name Langston Galloway, you might say, oh, I remember him when he was hooping at Christian Life. Or maybe you remember how dope it was when he made it to the NBA. And most recently, he's been playing for the USA Select basketball team. You know, the elite squad that helped the USA Olympic team sharpen its skills for the Paris Olympics. But with all that success, Langston Galloway has never forgotten the city that gave him his start. He and his wife Sabrina are still showing their love for Baton Rouge. These kids were the first people to play on the newly refurbished basketball court at Mills Avenue Park, and they can thank the Galloways for that. A $50,000 donation from the Langston Galloway Foundation helped Breck provide new paint for the court, plus some amazing upgrades.
I can tell you, as a kid growing up, we would always flock to the courts that had the glass backboards and the painted courts, and so this court will absolutely attract more people to play and help us with our mission in terms of getting people outdoors and active.
When we talk about Schuylerville, so often the avenues are left behind. And so for there to be an intentional infusion of funds and fun by the Galloway Foundation in cooperation and collaboration with Breck is awesome.
It's a little special for me because my mom grew up right on Avenue D in Mills, and so whenever we talk about personally selecting courts and reinvesting into the communities that brought us up, this is a product of that.
We're just dedicated to Baton Rouge, dedicated to Louisiana, and just dedicated to seeing the youth continue to grow, continue to be an impact for them, so that way they can have a special court, not just with rims and backboards that are regular, but something that we weren't privy to when I was growing up as a kid. So I'm just excited to have this partnership with Breck and just continue to build so much in the community of Baton Rouge. So thank you guys for being there, being a part of this, and we're thankful. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Basketball, food, snow cones, oh my! You know that was a good day. And we know Baton Rouge has a good family looking out for the kids in their capital city. This is actually the third court that the Galloways have helped refurbish. if you want to check it out for yourself at the Mills Avenue Park, right off Scenic Highway on the northern edge of Southern University. Up next, we're wrapping up our show by kicking off our high school football coverage. Your View's own Jeff Palermo joins us to talk about Game Time when Locally Louisiana returns. Tis the season for high school football. Friday nights are about to be jammed-packed with tailgates and touchdowns. And for all of us at Your View, that means it's time to welcome Game Time back to the airwaves. Jeff Palermo is the voice of Game Time, providing the play-by-play each and every week. And Jeff joins us now on Locally Louisiana. Welcome, Jeff. It's good to have you.
It's great to be here, and it's great to have another high school football season right around the corner.
Oh, I'm super excited. So, Jeff, how excited are you for the return of high school football? I mean, is it kind of like Christmas for you?
It is like Christmas. You sit there and you wait all year, and then when the season is over in the late November, early December, you go, where did it go? It goes by so fast.
It's so
you sit
true.
there and you wait for it all year, just kind of like Christmas. It comes and goes. So, yeah, I'm anxious. It's my favorite time of the year. It's just being there on Friday night where the entire community comes out to support these players, to support their high school. And it's just not about the football players. It's about the band. It's about the cheerleaders. And just everybody comes together. And in a time where it's hard to get people on the same page on different issues and different topics, it's great that people of all colors, of all sizes, they'll come together on a Friday night and cheer on their high school team. It's pure, it's Americana. I'm so fortunate to have an opportunity to be a part of it and bring it back home to the viewers on Your View.
So Game Time kicks off Friday, September 6th, and I believe you'll be in the Acadiana area?
That's right. We have a very interesting game to kick off our 2024 season. That'll be Southside versus Notre Dame. Southside has a new head football coach in Jess Curtis, who was one of the best high school football coaches ever at Manny High School. He led the Manny Tigers to 3 state championships. He left Manny because he wanted to coach at a 5A school, and he went to Natchitoches Central last year.
Yeah.
And then the Southside job opened up, and he decided, you know what, let me go down to South Louisiana, coach for a 5A school like Southside that has a lot of potential. It's a relatively new school in the Lafayette area, and he'll be taking on a legendary coach on that Friday night that we kick off the season. It'll be Southside versus Notre Dame, and, of course, Louis Cook, who has coached for 4+ decades now and has won 401 games during his Hall of Fame career. Third winningest coach, by the way, in Louisiana high school football history. So, and Notre Dame's going to have another really good team, a team that's got a chance to make it to the Caesar Superdome. So it should be a fantastic game between 2 great coaches, 2 great programs, and 2 great fan bases.
Well, that is a monster of a game to start with, and I am extra excited now to watch that game. Now, what matchups are you most looking forward to? Is it going to be this game?
Well, I'm looking forward to that one, but I think the week after that, and I usually want to save the best for last, right? But
yes.
Unfortunately, the schedule didn't kind of work out that way. But I think our marquee game of the schedule is week 2, Zachary and Acadiana. I mean, those are 2 5A powers. Zachary, both teams played in a state championship game last year on different sides of the bracket. Acadiana played Catholic High in the Select Division I state championship game, and Zachary played Ruston in the non-select Division I state championship game. Both teams finished up as runner-ups, but both schools have won multiple state championships over the last 15 years. Matt McCullough has done an outstanding job as the head football coach at Acadiana, once again bringing back a very talented group of players. And then Zachary, every year it seems like they lose some really good players, but they just reload. And David Brewerton has a powerhouse at Zachary. And these are the matchups you look forward to when 2 schools that are this good, they're not afraid to play each other. It's a good test to see where each other is at. It should be a fantastic game. So that'll be a great game. And then, just during the course of the season, we just got fantastic matchups. Shaw versus Rummel, Turlings Catholic Westgate. Always love going down to New Iberia, and it's great to have Turlings Catholic back on the schedule. And getting Lafayette Christian and Central, that's a very interesting matchup as well. Lafayette Christian, brand new coach. Central looks like they're building something really good with David Simino as their head coach. They made a nice playoff run last year. Let's see if they can go a little bit deeper. And then you got some interesting games beyond that. Southern Lab Kaplan, that's an interesting one. You know, Southern Lab's got all that talent, and Kaplan, they're obviously a well-coached program, always seem to do very well. University High's got star-studded players all over the field. They'll be taking on one of their big rivals. Parkview will have that game, and we'll have a good Livingston Parish battle towards the end of the season with Denham Springs and Walker.
3 of the top 4 recruits in the state will play on your view this season, which is exciting, including Harlem Berry. How deep is the pool of high school talent this season?
It's amazing, as always, in the state of Louisiana. It's just unbelievable the type of talent that this state is able to produce. I think a lot of it has to go to the coaches and what they're able to do, and teaching these guys the right fundamentals. And these kids are committed. But Harlem Berry is exciting to watch. I believe this will be the 3rd time that we've featured him on GameTime, and he's the #1 ranked running back in the country. I don't want to necessarily compare him to Barry Sanders, but he's got those Barry Sanders type moves.
Yeah.
He's just fast. He's quick, hard to bring down. If you just give him an inch, he's got a chance to take it a long way.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be going up against a very good Riverside team that Riverside and St. Martin's actually played twice last year. We had the regular season game, and then they played in the playoffs as well, and St. Martin gave them a much better game in the playoffs. And Harlem Berry is just a unique running back. I mean, we've seen some great running backs on GameTime, like Leonard Fournette, but Harlem Berry he's something fun to watch.
Well, Jeff, I know that I am super excited for this season, and we really appreciate you coming on and talking to us for a minute. And we will definitely be watching out for you September 6th here on UView. Thank you for joining us, Jeff.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Can't wait to get it started.
Yes! That's a wrap up on another amazing episode of Locally Louisiana. If you've missed any of these episodes, or you just crave a little bit more, you know we got you. Log on to watch.yourview.com. We'll see you next time here on Locally Louisiana. Bye, everybody.